Today is a super adventure day, you might say, because today I'm riding a bike that I should have ridden many years ago. Well, a couple of years ago. It's the KTM 1290 Super Adventure S. Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're all well. So that is the KTM 1290 Super Adventure S. There's another version, the R, Super Adventure R, which is more the off-road version. This has got the full pack on it. So it's got electronic suspension, quick shifter on it, hill hold as well. Just riding down here, it's a monster. That LC8 engine on it is just amazing. And if you're coming from a Harley like me, it's a nice transition with that engine, the way it kind of pulls and everything. It is just amazing. But enough of that. I know that you could put boxes on this as a tour pack. You can put a top box on here as well. The riding position is really comfortable. Would this be the bike that will satisfy my touring needs, my commuting needs, my desire to hit a few farm tracks every now and again if I had to go on them? Nothing serious off-road. That's why I wouldn't go for the R, because I don't really need the R, because it's more of a road bike with touring capability. That's what I'm really looking for. Upright riding position, you're commanding the road. Is this the bike? I'll let you know. I'm going to take it for a ride and go and have a bit of fun. Catch you on the other side. Oh my lordy, what a machine that is. What a machine that is. I'll tell you what, out of the ADVs I've ever ridden, and I know I should have ridden KTMs in the past, and I've ridden KTM, but not the big ADVs. I've always said to myself, that's a one bike, that's a one make I haven't tried and I should have tried, really. It's brilliant. It's an absolute beast, monster of a bike, absolute monster of a bike. When it says it's ready to race, in sport mode, it is like the shackles have come off, the suspension stiffens up at the front. It's actually quite a rough ride, but the power that just comes out of it is just amazing. For normal road riding, you don't want it in sport mode, you just want it in street mode, which has still got the growl, but the suspension is a little bit softer, it's a smoother ride. Flipping out, that's a really good bike. That's a really good bike. Because it's got that LC8 engine, that V-twin, it feels raw as well, just like that Harley, but much smoother, much nicer, much more refined. It's a different kind of bike, of course it is. I cannot say how much I've enjoyed riding that bike. Unbelievable riding position, upright. The seat is actually really comfortable. As I say, this is the Adventure S, the 1290 Adventure S, and it's got all the bells and whistles on it. Quick shifter, hill hold control, electronic suspension, all that kind of stuff. But it's great. The handguards, the screen is manually adjust. This TFT screen is really bright, really clear. Changing from the rain to the street to the sport modes is really easy once you've figured out how to do it. I was like, yeah, press that button, eventually you get there. But it kind of, it's intuitive at the same time. So when I rode some other bikes recently that were more street focused in terms of ADVs, I said that in the bends they were a bit suspect, right? This, however, in the bends it rolls and it stays there, and it's beautiful balance. Big ADV, big tall, but you don't feel you're on a big tall ADV bike. It's just so odd. They've got it just right in terms of the way this works. And this for me is probably the bike that would suit me most, which is unbelievable. I always said to myself that if I was going for an ADV bike again with sort of the boxes and everything for full touring capability, I've always said that the ADV bikes are great touring bikes, right? Great all-round bikes. I just don't think they're great for serious off-road, and I've said that multiple times. But I also said, if I went for an ADV bike, I'd go for an off-road variant for sort of off-road trails, let's say. But I've also said that any bike can go on any trail, so you don't really need an ADV off-road bike for just trail riding. And I'm talking about farm tracks, smooth trails, nothing challenging, you know, this kind of stuff, right? Just, you know, really hard stuff in the summertime when it's dry and wet, no problem. Well, that bike could do it completely, no problem. If I'm going to my farm, if I'm going to, you know, up in the mountains or something like that, it'd be great, it'd be no problem. So as an overall package, it's got my mind really thinking now, is this the bike that I should really be going for? Now, I think these retail in the region of about 16,500. Then you start putting on heated grips, heated seats, you know, boxes, top box and everything. You're going to be hitting in the region of about 18,000, probably, maybe even a little bit more. So then it becomes quite an expensive bike, for me anyway. But obviously I trade in my bike and then I kind of look at that. Decisions, but all I could say, that is a fantastic bike. But I tell you what, I don't like the look of it. It's just an odd looking thing. I've always said this look reminds me of an alien headlight, or, you know, some kind of transformer type thing. The bike, ADV bikes are not good looking bikes anyway. I don't look at it and I go, wow, that's a gorgeous bike, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, and it does it incredibly well. And it's now entered my thinking of, should I really go for something like this if I am going to go and change my bike, my Harley, for a more touring, more all-round sort of purpose bike. I'm so impressed with that, so impressed, you know, just like the old commercial, oh, so impressed I bought the company. I'm so impressed with that, I could be very tempted to buy that bike, just purely on the way it rides. Sport mode, it's as rough as hell, sport mode, but in road mode, absolutely great. Right, with that, all I can say is I'm just going to enjoy this a little bit more whilst I've got it, from those kind people at KTM who let me demo the bike today. Again, as I say, I'm looking whether to upstage my Harley, whether to trade it in, stick with another Harley, or go with another brand with more of a touring type capability. I'm also not discounting the ADVs for their all-round capability on off-road and touring options. But in terms of the way this ride, the engine, the street mode and the sport mode, the way it responds, the way it grounds, especially in that sport mode, it's a monster. If you've ridden these bikes, let us know what you think of them. Let us know what you think of the KTM 1290 Super Adventure. This is the S, of course, in that sport mode. Now, I really want to try the 1290 Super Duke GT, which is a road bike, but it's got Gran Turismo touring-y options on it as well. That looks like a real monster. But this bike, as an all-round package, so far has been the one. What it lacks for me is this. It lacks being that smooth, comfortable touring bike. Smooth touring or commuter bike. It doesn't have that smoothness, if you know what I mean, like a tourer would have. It doesn't have that, you know, I want to get on this and I want to rip the arse out of it. I want to just have fun and be a bit of a hooligan on it. And I think in the long term, I'm kind of thinking myself, on a day-to-day ride, is this the bike that I would want on a day-to-day bike? As a long-distance bike, short-distance bike, commuting, you know, that kind of thing. But as an overall package, wow, unbelievable. You know, I'm very tempted now, very tempted by that. And this is not just me saying it. I don't bullshit on this channel at all. That is very, very impressive. If you're after an ADV bike, come and try the KTM 1290 Super Adventure, the S for the road version, or the R for the off-road, more off-road version. You will not be disappointed at all. Now, I'm sure there's lots of issues with these bikes. There always are. Bikes have issues, right? All machines have issues. So let us know in the comments below if you've got any history with these. What do you think of them? You know, what the packages are like, what the reliability is like, and all that kind of stuff. I did notice a few in the dealership, you know, for a couple of years old with very low mileage, but they dropped about £6,000 or £7,000, so about £10,000 or £11,000 you could pick them up for. So, you know, the used bike value, well, you know, for a buyer, it's probably a good bike to buy. For a seller, it's probably not a great bike to sell. But overall, when I had my Triumph a few years ago, the Triumph Explorer, that is a much better bike than that Triumph I had. Definitely, definitely. Much better, much more fun, much more agile, much better in the bends, much better on the acceleration, much better, you know, all around. Brilliant. So out of the two, if I had to go, I haven't ridden the latest Triumph big ADV, the Triumph Tiger 1200, but that is just up there right now. The Suzuki and the Kawasaki are below it, but they're right up there for value, in terms of value for money. But that is just fantastic. Anyway, the problem is you start riding more and more bikes just to get a feel for them and which way you want to go, and you get more and more options and you really don't know which way you want to go. That's the truth of it, isn't it? That's the truth of it. You start to think, oh well, maybe I should try that, maybe I should try that. But I'm determined to make sure that I find a bike for the future that I think is going to satisfy the riding that I'm really going to be doing, or whether I just stick with my Harley and you know, and just fix the issues that I think it has, and you know, and go for the long one, and that is basically upstaging it and doing some head work, but that's about it really. So anyway, listen, KTM Super Adventure S 1290, what a machine, what a machine, what a machine. It's a beast. It's ready to race. It's a beast. That's all I can say. I'm gonna have loads more fun on this. Catch you again on another video coming very soon. Ta-da.